basket of deplorables.
They can't stop doing
it's just the stupidest thing you can do. The thing that progressives do that I've never seen in all of these years we've talked about, never seen a political movement do, is assign people to the other side.
Yeah.
What Clinton did, what anybody running for president, Nixon did it. You could see examples of all of them when they talked, like, especially when they started doing town halls, which was a great addition to it. They would say, somebody would stand up and say, I don't want to vote for you because I'm a Democrat and because I think you're, whatever. And they go, okay, tell me, what does that mean to you being a Democrat? Yeah. Well, the economy is very important to me and healthcare, and I want people to be taken care of when they're older, sick. And he goes, I'm afraid to tell you, but you're a Republican. That's what people do, is like, come here. I've got the same. I'm like you. You're like me more than you understand. Now, and they hedge it. They go like, now I don't agree with my opponent's bill for healthcare, but I have the same concern as you do about healthcare. I have the same values you do. We're like, you should vote for me. But what progressives do is you actually say to them, I'm a progressive. Yeah. And they go, really? Prove it. Well, I'm for gay marriage. What do you mean gay? What do you mean marriage? Yeah. You are a Trump. They like tell other people that they belong to Trump. They give him, they push people away.
They pushed everyone to him.
Because the goal is not actually to win and to change the country, which is a ugly, difficult, to really change the country is a gray, difficult, boring, bureaucratic, unsatisfying, slow business. And people want to be able to make it happen like this. I can just, and they're not trying to make something happen. They're just trying to feel, they're trying to show what they think and perform what they are and just get it. And they're addicted. It's a sickness. I feel sorry for them. I don't hate people like this. It's just that they're sick. They can't stop this thing. If this doesn't bark, they start feeling sick inside. So if it's not barking, they bark at it. So that'll bark back. And that's on both sides. Yeah. That's everybody on the Trump side. That's everybody on the progressive side. Yeah. It's sick. But I feel I'm skipping over Trump because I think the whole country has been in a fevered nightmare for all the time he was president. And he was the perfect president for the time we were living. Yeah. He was, all the people that hate Trump that really hate him are exactly like him. And they picked him. CNN and MSNBC refused to talk about any other Republicans. Like, I wrote a dumb thing that I never should have written about Trump. And the point of it was pick a real conservative. Like, I'm not a conservative generally. I am about certain things. I mean, look, if I go to a smoothie place, I don't pick one of the like cool blue or the berry. I like to make my own. That's the way I am politically. I'm like bananas with some spinach and some, agave. Okay. So that's the way I am politically. But I think I wanted to say, if you're going to pick a conservative, pick a person who's going to really talk about conservative politics. There's a lot of value in that. And then let's have a real debate. Trump wasn't that to me. He was a psycho, weirdo fucking salesman, and he was extremely effective, fascinating, had his finger on the pulse of the people, knew how to run a rally, and then would get in his helicopter, by the way, and buzz them because he thought it was funny to watch them run in fear. He's a screwed up dude.
Nah, he did that because it was cool. He did that because it was cool, and the people down there were probably like, yes.
No, he's like scaring them.
Here's the thing. With Trump, to me, he's just a result of where we were politically.
He was a result.
He's a result. He's not the cause. And then to watch the way the left kicked and screamed the entire time he was in office, and they got their way. They got their way. And that's what bothers me, because there's a part of me that's always like, look, I'm glad he's gone so we don't have to fucking fight every single day. That was annoying. But then it's like, do I want to reward the side that fucking cried every day when they lost? Do we want to reward them with an actual result, which is they got their guy who happens to be dead?
Well, I guess what I think is the only way you get out of nightmare moments in history, which happen all the time, They come and they go and they come and they go and they come and they go. It's just constant. And every time you think this is all over, like I used to tell my kids and people, you know, around me that were really upset when Trump won, hey, that's how we felt when Reagan won. And, you know, we got a lot of good after him and even some good out of him. And I like when people are afraid of, we're afraid of terrorism. I mean, that was all anybody cared about.
Yeah.
After 9/11. And I remember telling people, everybody was like, we're all going to get blown up. This is going to be the end. There's going to be many more 9/11s. And that's what we thought about nuclear war. That's what we thought about. So these kind of things do happen cyclically. And I think that the only way you get out of them is by giving up on our side, your side. And I see people doing that. I see everybody doing that. I see it in the way what you do on stage. I see it in the way when you first, I remember this is the way I tell myself the story. You would go to the Comedy Cellar and you want to tell some jokes about your dad. And you'd say, my dad is a Fox News guy. And they all go, boo, because it's their place. It's New York City. And they have no shame just booing a guy.
Yeah, just booing my dad.
Boo! Boo! This is definitely the right move. Boo! And you would take it with your red Irish half retarded face, and you would just take it and get angry. But you'd swallow the anger and you'd continue talking about your dad. And it was hard. And you kept going to these. And you're not being Theo Vaughn playing in the South. You're in New York City. Nothing against Theo Vaughn, but you're here. And then one night you said, they booed. You said, my dad's a Trump guy. I mean, he's a Fox News guy. And they said, boo. And you said, hey, all your dads are Fox News guys. And they went, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And you said, and guess what? You want your dad to be a Fox News guy. And you found this common ground with them. And the thing that SNL really fucked up by not having you on there. And by the way, you wouldn't have been able to do what you do on SNL.
Of course.
But if you could have been your version, the thing that you do that's great is that you make fun of Pennsylvania, Fox News, Trump world because they're your family and you love them and they're part of you. And yet you hate them. You want out. You're growing up. And so, but you know how you can only make fun of somebody.
I'm going back, dude.
You can only,
it's growing on
you
me.
can only make fun of someone if you love them, if there's love there and you know them. And, you know, Seth, fucking Meyers and Trump. Oh, God. There's no fun. Their jokes are crafted, but I don't give a fuck.
And it's all like it's us versus those idiots.
Yes, that's not fun. It's fun to watch a guy go, this is my dad. Listen, you want to know about, you want to know what's really flawed about a Fox News guy? Listen to the stories about my dad and unfortunately, you're going to like my dad.
Yeah.
You're going to like him. And that mix, that being able to like go like, you fucker, but and I can't get, you and I probably disagree about almost everything, but I can't get your sound anywhere else. I can't get your sound of humanity anywhere else. So I think that all this time drove us apart and then we got lonely. This is a human story. You want to get away from people that you think are hurting you and then you miss them so much. And then you come back together and we'll do it again. But I do believe, and again, I do think that, I mean, Trump he ran for president every election. People are like, where did this, he could have, the country decided it's time for Trump because we lost our minds. Yeah. But I remember he ran one year and he got a shot. He did a town hall, just one-on-one with some big Chris Matthews. And he said, well, what do you think of the Republican National, whatever? And Trump said, they're just retarded. And Chris Matthews was like, and I was like, did he just say retarded? Because they're just so retarded. And nobody took him seriously.
Yeah.
He ran every 4 years and it would just be like, stop it.
There's an interesting thing.
Give me the fucking break.
With Bannon.
But yes?
Bannon there's a YouTube video of Bannon doing an interview about Trump and like finding Trump and like, he's taking a lot of credit, but the populist movement, which is Jackson, like just being like, there's something here. We can do this. This guy has a...
Well, he failed them too, by the way. Like the thing is, Trump's magic was an absolute perfect narcissism. Like a crystal fucking diamond, just perfect no flaws,
Yeah.
narcissism, and at an age where that was the country, everybody and people, something was invented under Trump, I feel, which is, or maybe it goes all the way back to everybody who's ever been like a big crazy leader, is narcissism in the collective, that people are obsessed with one person and they can't hear anything against them and they don't give a shit what happens as long as the person wins. That's sort of, he came at a time where people were obsessed with personal attention, with feelings, and they just were in denial about what's going to happen next.
Again, he was a result.
Yes.
He was a result of social media. He was a result of how America is acting. And like, he was also a result of the left being complete fucking dickheads. And it was more fun to be like, I want to watch Trump win and watch these fucking people that openly hate me. I want to watch them cry when Hillary loses.
I understand
it was the same
that.
thing.
I understand that. And I felt in agony every minute that he was president, and I hated it. But I understand that. I understand why people dug him.
I didn't vote for him. I didn't vote for him, but the night he won, I was doing an open mic and I was like, this is fun. I got to watch all the fucking alt comics literally cry.
Listen, when I was
happy.
I was on tour when he won, and I was in Dallas the night he won, or the night after, the first day of him being president. And I said, hey guys, you know all this stuff about because everybody was into problematic and writing think pieces about, this and that. I was like, so this is what you did. Thank you.
Yeah, this is where it got us.
That was my feeling back then, was like, this is what's happened, is that there's no conversation going on anymore. Nobody's really defending liberal politics, and there isn't a real conservative running. It's just a shit show and a piece of shit won.
The right can just put out a guy that goes, aren't they fucking crazy, and do well because of how crazy the left is.
I think the next thing that would restore the country is a fucking normal conservative, a normal Chris Christie.
Yeah.
Just a normal fucking dude. Because there's no Democrat. First of all, they're all behind. There's nobody even thinking. Yeah. There's not. But at this point, it's 2022. The presidential election is in 2024, and not one Democrat is talking about running. So it's going to be Biden, and
it can't be.
It
literally can't be.
I think it literally can't be too. So I don't really know what we got. And it's such a mess over on the Democrat side. But it can't be these guys who are just pushing whatever button that day. I'm going to go against the liberals on this because that's what they're mad about today. It's got to be somebody who goes back to just regular. And I don't want a conservative president, but I believe I live in a democracy and that the president should only sometimes reflect my values, because I'm a part of the country. I'm not the whole country.
Yeah.
So if I lived in a country where I loved the president my whole lifetime, that would be fucked up because I only agree with about 38% of the people in the country.
Yeah.
So that's, to me, what is the test of what a president should be. Is it that he should be compassionate, strong, all these? To me, what he should be is a representative of the people's will. Remember this thing that I said, he is a president. He presides. Like when they talk about, like real intellectuals talk about it, and real press guys, they say you are president. They don't say you're the president. They say you're president. And Obama used to say, when it comes to president, he didn't say he would say president, because it's a verb. You're presiding. Like I said, it's a simple job. Trump always talks about leader. When you're a leader, you're not a leader. You're not a ruler. You are presiding over a process. You're presiding over a process of equals deciding things together. You're supposed to be just one of the people who was chosen to step up and run shit for a while, being told by this group of that's all we also voted for, what to do. That's what the legislators, and then these 9 people who are looking after, making sure that it's supposed to result in the right thing and keeping the tiller in the right direction.
Yeah.
But it's a humble position. That's why I don't think it belongs to a guy like him. I think it's fascinating that he took it for those 4 years, and they fucking impeached him twice. If you impeach somebody and they win, it makes them stronger. Yeah. I mean, Clinton proved that. It's just so fucking stupid.
If it wasn't for COVID, he'd still be there.
I don't know. It's hard to say. He really was running hot, and he didn't give a fuck. And that's just something's going to get you. Same with Nixon. Same with Caligula. Just something that you left because you didn't care. Same with Putin. I mean, these guys who just like, they create a ball of energy that shoots so high, but it burns everything around them. And when they need someone, if you stay in politics long enough, you're going to have a moment where things aren't good. And you look to your right and somebody's like, fuck you. And you start to take a dump into the ground. Now, if you get your hold on the mechanisms hard enough, like get rid of, to me, the thing about Trump is that he had no respect for democratic process. To me, the thing on the left is they have no respect for liberty. This America is about democracy and liberty. Okay, it's about that we choose amongst ourselves and that there's a working, fair democracy. And it's about you can say what you want, you can believe what you want, you can be who you want, you can have the identity you want, you can be anything you want, and no one and the great American ideal is leave people the fuck alone. That's the one they forget. It's not about like say this, say that. It's about leave folks alone. Let people do what they want. And the left forgot that. They don't give a fuck about freedom of speech anymore. They don't get how stupid it is to shut people up and how quickly that's going to come around and kick you in the ass. Same thing with Trump. If you just wield authority like this, say fuck democracy, no one's going to have your back.
Yeah.
No one's going to be there to make sure you're doing the right thing like the press is supposed to do and doesn't do anymore. So that's, to me, the two sides have fucked up those two principles.
And that the problem is both those sides are correct to point the finger at the other side.
Yes, that's
and
why
be
it's
like, this is why we're fucked up. That's why we're fucked up.
That's
and they
why
just
it
won't
becomes.
stop.
That's why it becomes a looking glass, because they don't understand each other. And yes, they are right about each other.
Yeah, they're right.
They're right about each other. The left is right about Trump. Trump's right about the left, and all the people that are left, And so it's a mess. But the thing I count on is just human spirit, human nature, which is that we like each other. I think, and we like to laugh at each other, and everybody knows that they're full of shit. Everybody knows. It's the thing that's sad about the phone to me, and this is the last thing I'm going to say because I'm losing my mind. Can I say this last thing?
This.
You get on a subway train or on a bus or on a plane, and you look at another person, and there's that weird eye contact thing. You're like, ugh. And you look at a person, and you kind of hate. We're reptilian. Like I don't know, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
he's competition or whatever it is. But you look at a person, and you go, he ain't that bad. And then you see him look at you, and you see yourself through his eyes, and you think, I ain't that great. These are these two very important parts. He ain't that bad. I ain't that great. And you get that from eye contact and personal contact, and through forced, you just around people that you don't love, around people that that aren't like you. That's why I've always loved New York City, because it always used to feel like that. But with this thing, you don't have to ever have that moment. You're just looking into this, and it keeps this magical algorithm keeps telling you more and more of what you want to feel. It doesn't give you any. It keeps you from any resistance. Kids get out of college and they just feel like idiots because they go in the world and nobody cares what they think. But they start to get stronger every day they meet with resistance, and also they start to hear shit they don't believe in and believe some of it. You know what I mean? And their world expands. But this thing takes you into a smaller world every day, smaller and smaller, further away from other people. And everybody, instead of learning and growing, everybody's becoming retarded. That's where Trump came from. And I don't know what's next. I really don't. I don't know what they're going to do.